cut 5835. What's up, internet? Pasha Houston here, and today we're doing a review of the Tech Air 5 Plasma airbag vest that you see me currently wearing. Well, I believe this is their last gen at the moment of the recording of this video, and I've worn it for about 6 weeks, dailying this thing basically. And so I took my time before I wanted to record a video, so I have the knowledge of actual daily use of this thing, and that's what we're going to talk about, not just a review of here it is, here's what it looks like, good luck. So I'm going to break it down into reasons for something like this to be worn, for comfort factor, usability, appearance, and pros and cons. There's going to be one drawback that I found a bit annoying for me personally, and I'm going to save that for the end of the video. But let's start with the reasons, which are pretty obvious. Safety. Now, when people see this, I noticed that the first question everybody asks is, how much is it? New tech, pricey. $830. It's a lot before tax. However, I thought it was easy to ration this purchase because, well, have you considered the medical bills? The cost of medical bills in this country? Yeah, okay, I'll buy the airbag, F it. So that was me personally. I thought it made sense. Next point is going to be comfort. You will be coming into the next factor with the thought, well, I'm going to be cooking in this thing. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, I'm going to be cooking in this thing. I'm in Texas, in Austin. Summer. I rode this in the summer. This is now September, which in Texas is still summer. So it's currently 90 something, 8 degrees or something like that. And so the next point, comfort, right? I was expecting to be cooking, and I was cooking in this thing on most of my rides. Talking about 2-hour ride or something, I take it off, I just sweat. However, it wasn't as bad as I've expected, to be honest. It wasn't as bad because the airflow surprised me, because you have, here, hold on a second. You have your neck open right here. I wore a shirt that's not black, so you can actually differentiate and tell where the vest begins, where the shirt ends. So you can kind of see your chest is sort of open, and when you ride like this, you have some airflow that comes in here, which is huge when you're wearing basically a plastic bag over your body. Secondly, it's fairly short, so, and if you look at the design of it, but this is breathable right here. All right, so it covers your rib cage, and then your stomach and lower body, it just gets airflow. If you're hearing this is the signal that it's on or off. We'll get back to that. There's a little vibration notification that happens when you unplug it or plug it in. All right, so comfort, right? More airflow than I've expected. You are going to be sweating though if you're riding in the hot weather. There's just there's no way around it. Okay, so next point of the comfort factor would be you do still need to wear a jacket on top of it because you want to have a hard shell. Obviously you have the airbag, but if you're sliding, this thing will not last. It's not made for sliding. It's made for impact, right? My thing was that, well, okay, I grab my old jacket and I wear this. Hold on. You want to have 4 centimeters of space between the airbag vest and your jacket, which on my chest I definitely have. On my shoulders, barely. I would ideally need a size up jacket, I think, because this one fits pretty snug, as it should, as a motorcycle jacket should. But what I did is I took out the shoulder pads and I left the elbow pads. The reason I took out the shoulder pads, well, because I felt like there's an airbag vest underneath, plus the jacket itself should be fine. Plus, I want to leave enough room between the jacket and the vest. So, if it does deploy, I have the space required for it. Which, again, I might go to a bigger jacket at some point. Next, usability. Okay, so when I say usability, I mean how easy it is to charge, how long does it last with the charge, how easy it is to wash it. Well, that was a bit of a challenge. We're gonna get into it, and I might take off the camera off the tripod and kind of show you what it looks like on the inside. If not, they're like actual usable videos on YouTube of disassembly of this thing completely. We'll see. So, as far as usability, let me take off this jacket so I don't cook out here. All right, so usability. Firstly, I chose a non-tethered airbag vest for the reason that I don't want to remind myself to attach the vest to the bike. Okay, so tethered, obviously there's a string that attaches to the vest, and then whenever you separate from the motorcycle is when it deploys. The reason I chose untethered personally is because I've done a little bit of research, and I understand a scenario where somebody might have a low side and they stay with the bike. You know, they stay fairly close with the bike, and so that airbag vest will never deploy because it's tethered. It's attached to the bike. You're right next to it. So to me personally, it was a no-brainer to choose this system. I don't want to remind myself to, again, plug it in or whatever, attach it. I zip it up. There's two sensors right here on the chest. There's one right here, and there's a little magnet on this end. So whenever they come together, and it gives you a little 3-second vibration to tell you it's on. When it comes undone, 5-second vibration to tell you that it's off, which is super useful because you don't want to look at it and double check. But if you do, there's also an LED panel here that tells you which mode it's in and that it's on or off. And there's an off-road, street, and race, 3 modes. I've only used it in street. So that part I really like. The design is really smart. It makes sense. It's easy to, you know, put it on every day and not worry about it, and you know, you're notified right away that it's on. It's functioning. You can look at the lights and tell you that it ran a check and everything is in order. Washing this thing was a little bit of a challenge. But first, let me tell you that I think it's really cool that they did that, so where you can disassemble it and wash it, obviously. I think previous gens, you don't get to do that. 100 degrees outside, I don't want to wear a salty ass vest. I want to be able to wash it. Was it easy? It was fairly easy, but sometimes I am short on patience with these sort of things. And it reminded me of, you know, those blanket cases that have a hole, and you have to like put in the blanket and find each, you know, corner of the blanket inside the case and then straighten it out and all that. It's kind of like this. It's just more complex because there's this piece, the front chest piece, the back piece. So it was a little bit of a tedious process, but the ability of, you know, just the design allowing you to do this is a huge plus. I think it's really good. If you look in the pocket here, on the inside pocket, it's made to unplug the actual bag from the vest. Hold on. Okay, so you see there's a red little sticker here, which is attached simply like so. And you know, there's another one at the bottom which is also marked with the number and the color, so you don't mess them up. And then, you know, color and the number here at the bottom. So it's pretty straightforward. Two, it's kind of brushing off now, but whatever. It's pretty straightforward. It's just, you know, you have to have some patience, which sometimes I don't have any patience. But I managed. I washed it. I put it back together. The only thing I noticed, right now it's not as bad, but ever since I put it together, and I'm pretty sure it's me, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, that this portion of the back of the jacket, it kind of does that. It kind of goes up for some reason. Like that. I don't know why it does that. And then if you just pull it from the bottom, like, I'm not sure if the bug is attacking me. It's a huge one too. I don't know what that was. If you pull it down, it kind of goes into place. I think it's me with the wiring, maybe just not exactly the best routing for the wire, which sits right here, I think. Oh, you know what? I think I entirely missed it. So I figured that I'm gonna go back and check on it once I redo it again. But now that I know that I might have missed the housing for the wiring, I'll go ahead and fix that. So, usability, being able to wash this thing, it's great. Have some patience, you'll be able to put it together, no problem. All right, next, appearance. I don't know, I think it looks dorky. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. I think they can take an advantage of it being an airbag and make it look cool. You know what I mean? Like, since I'm already wearing it, make it look, I don't know, make it look cyberpunk. Previous gen actually has the 2 tubes that come up here for the airbag. Just visually, it looks cool. Since you're already wearing it, man, might as well look, you know, make it look, you know, highlight the fact that it's a high tech, basically. This, why I say it looks kind of dorky, because I don't know about this cutout here. Again, like I said, it's breathable, but it also reminds me that I need to go back to the gym. And it's like super short. I don't know. It's not terrible. To each his own, so you tell me. So that's the appearance of it. Now, my biggest beef with it, and I'm still gonna wear it, and I still wear it. However, I found it to be a big drawback. Actually, let me keep it on for a second. It's gonna be the back piece. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. Let's go ahead and open it up so I can show you what I'm talking about. If you watching this review, you've probably seen what they look like inside. Okay, here's what they look like inside, right? I feel like this piece, which is one of those protective foams that hardens up on the impact, which is cool. And I understand it's a brand new tech and there should be some weight to it. It just feels a bit too heavy. A, it feels heavy. B, it feels like too hard of a shell. Now, I understand you can only do so much because, let's go ahead and just open it up. I understand you can only do so much because you have this here, right? But what I'm trying to say is that I feel like if this material could be maybe a little bit more airy, a little bit more lighter, maybe a little bit more flexible, I think it would be a better vest. Because what happens, is you're basically wearing a board on your back. That's what it feels like. So if you, especially if you're riding a sport bike and you're like, you know what I mean, you're gonna be leaned, this thing does not hug your back, and with between that and the weight of it, you just feel like you have a board just pressing on your back. You can kind of feel it after a long ride. It gets, you know, you feel the weight and you feel that it's lacking flexibility. Again, I'm gonna repeat myself. I understand it's a brand new technology, and I understand that there's only so much you can do for it to have flexibility because there's components in here. However, I feel like it could have a better shape, maybe a softer material on the side, or maybe it does have a concave shape here, but maybe if it had like a softer material in the middle, maybe to where you can bend over on the bike and you just don't feel like there's a, you know, plate that's pressing against your spine, is what I'm trying to say. They definitely tried, because it does have a concave shape, but it's still, you know, in comparison to the rest of the vest also, you can just feel that weight on the back of it, and between that and a lack of flexibility, it's something that's going to be noticeable. Oh, by the way, one more point as far as washing it and reassembly. That's me being impatient, but if you look here, you can kind of see the bag. There should be a material, just a black material here, but whenever I reassembled it, I couldn't get for it to not show. I'm pretty sure there's a piece of material here that sits underneath the bag, which should have been over it maybe. I don't know. I didn't worry about it too much, but it's just something that I noticed when I reassembled it. I'm like, why do I see this here? I'm pretty sure I do it again, I will already know what's up and I'll do it better. If I had to rate this accessory from 1 to 10, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Oh, I never mentioned, you're also able to replace the cartridge, the CO2 cartridge, which is huge. You can replace the CO2 cartridge 5 times on this vest before you have to send it back in, which is huge, especially if you're doing off-road dirt bikes. You know, you crash here and there, you just want to plug in another cartridge and keep going. Just because you went down doesn't mean you necessarily hurt, especially with the bag. I am very pro right to repair. And whenever I buy something, I want to be able to disassemble it, reassemble it, and do what I want to do with it because I paid a price for it. You know, it's my item. I want to be able to service it. It's a huge respect for them to provide us with a product that we can service ourselves. I hope this is an informative enough review for you. If you're down to sweat a little bit for, you know, additional safety, definitely go for it. Definitely go for it. If you ride on a racetrack, yeah, absolutely, why not? You're already cooking in the suit, right? Yeah, I don't see too many cons for this thing to not make sense. I only see pros, especially with this new gen where you can service it and wash it. Absolutely great product. If by any chance Alpine Stars are seeing this video, the only thing as a consumer I can say, somehow this bag could be a little bit lighter or flexible, it would be perfect. It would be really ideal. So if you found this video to be useful, I would appreciate a like. It doesn't cost you anything. It gives me the mojo to keep going and recording more videos. In the upcoming videos, I know I said at some point that I will do the video on the repair of this beast. 2 times I took the motor out of this thing to find the issue. There was a hidden issue from the previous owner. There was a surprise in there for me. I got it dialed in, but hours and hours of repairs, in order for me to put it together, I need to spend like 12 hours behind a computer. I'm just not ready for it. So right now you're getting, I think, a better video of this product. And in the near future, I wanted to make a video of helmet that is usable for daily versus a helmet that looks good on pictures of TikTok, and which one you should get and why.